I am agree with you. She is more prettier than her sister. I have 25 years old. Do any of these sentences sound right to you? If you said yes, don't worry, you're not alone. Thousands of English learners make these exact mistakes every single day. Making mistakes is normal, but when you keep making the same mistakes over and over, it stops your progress. It keeps you stuck at the same level. Today, I'm going to show you 12 of the most common mistakes English learners make, explain why they're wrong, and teach you the correct way to say them. And this episode will help you speak English more accurately and confidently. Let's get started. Welcome to English Boost Zone, where we help you speak English naturally and confidently. In this episode, we're tackling something really important. Now, I want to be clear, making mistakes is part of learning. It's completely normal and nothing to be embarrassed about. But here's what I've noticed. Many learners make the same mistakes repeatedly because nobody has explained to them what's wrong or how to fix it. So today, we're going to look at 12 common mistakes that I hear all the time. For each one, I'll explain what's wrong, why it's wrong, and give you the correct version with examples. By the end of this episode, you'll understand these mistakes clearly, and you'll know how to avoid them. So grab a notebook if you'd like to take notes, and let's dive into our first mistake. Let's start with a really important one: burnout. When you burn out, it means you become extremely tired, stressed, or exhausted because you've been working too much without rest. This is very common in high-pressure jobs. Example, if you work 12 hours every day without taking breaks, you'll burn out. You can also use it as a noun. He experienced burnout after working non-stop for 6 months. This is a warning we need to take seriously. Rest is important. Balance is important. If you ignore your health and just keep pushing yourself, your body and mind will eventually burn out. Another example, she burned out after managing 3 big projects at the same time. Remember, burnout is about exhaustion from too much work. Next up, call off. This one is simple. Call off means to cancel something. You can call off a meeting, an event, a plan, or even a project. Example, they called off the meeting because the manager was sick. It's very common in professional situations when plans change. Another example, we had to call off the conference due to bad weather. Notice the structure: call off plus something, you call off the meeting, you call off the event. You might also hear let's call it off, which means let's cancel it. This phrasal verb is super useful when plans fall through or when something unexpected happens. Number 3, carry out. Carry out means to perform a task, to complete an action, or to execute a plan. It's very formal and professional. Example, we need to carry out a survey before making any decisions. This is commonly used when talking about research, tasks, or responsibilities. Another example, the team carried out the plan successfully. You can also say carry out an investigation, carry out an experiment, or carry out your duties. So if your boss says, please carry out this task by Friday, they're asking you to complete it. Let's move to fill in. This means to write information in blank spaces, usually on a form or document. Example, please fill in this form before the interview. You might also hear fill in your name and contact details here. It's very common when you're applying for jobs, registering for something, or completing paperwork. Another example, I need to fill in my before the end of the week. Sometimes people also say fill out instead of fill in. Both are correct and mean the same thing. Number 5, look over. Look over means to review or check something carefully. It's not just reading, it's examining something to find mistakes or to understand it better. Example, can you look over my report before I send it to the client? This is very polite and common in teamwork. You're asking someone to review your work. Another example, I'll look over the contract tonight and give you feedback tomorrow. It's similar to check or review, but look over sounds more natural in conversation. You can look over emails, documents, presentations, or any written material. Next, take over. Take over means to take control of something or to replace someone in a role or responsibility. Example, a new manager took over the project last month. This happens when someone new comes in and starts leading or managing something. Another example, I'll take over the meeting while John is on vacation. You can take over a project, take over a company, or even take over someone's job. It's about assuming responsibility or control. Number 7, set up. Set up means to arrange, organize, or prepare something. Example, let's set up a meeting for next Tuesday. This is extremely common in professional communication. You set up meetings, appointments, systems, or equipment. Another example, we need to set up the projector before the presentation starts. You can also use it for creating something new. She set up her own business last year. So setup is all about preparation and organization. Let's talk about follow up. This is one of the most important phrasal verbs in business English. Follow up means to check on something again later or to take additional action after an initial conversation or task. Example, I'll follow up with the client tomorrow to see if they have any questions. This shows professionalism. It means you're staying on top of things and not forgetting about important tasks. Another example, can you follow up on that email I sent last week? You can follow up with a person or follow up on a task or issue. In emails, you might write, just following up on my previous message. Following up is a sign of good communication and responsibility at work. Number 9, run out of. This means to have no more of something left, you've used it all. Example, we ran out of time during the meeting, so we didn't finish the agenda. It can be used with anything: time, money, supplies, patience, ideas. Another example, the office ran out of paper, so we can't print the report. It's very common in everyday situations when something is depleted or finished. Next, point out. Point out means to highlight something, to draw attention to something, or to mention something important. Example, she pointed out a mistake in the financial report. This is useful when you want to bring something to someone's attention. Another example, let me point out that this deadline is extremely tight. You can point out errors, facts, details, or observations. Finally, give up. Give up means to stop trying, to quit, or to surrender. Example, don't give up on your goals, even when things get difficult. In a work context, you might hear, he gave up trying to fix the system and called tech support. Giving up means you've decided something is too hard or impossible, so you stop. But remember, in motivation and encouragement, we often say, never give up, it's about persistence. Another example, she didn't give up, and eventually she got the promotion. Now that we've covered all 11, let's go deeper into 3 of the most important ones: burnout, call off, and follow up. Let's start with burnout because it's not just a phrasal verb, it's a real problem in today's work culture. Burnout happens when you're overworked, stressed, and exhausted for a long period of time. It's not just feeling tired after one busy day, it's a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion. According to workplace studies, burnout is increasing, especially with remote work blurring the lines between personal life and professional life. Here's a mini story to help you understand. Story: Tom was a project manager at a tech company. He loved his job at first, but slowly he started working longer hours. He answered emails at midnight, he skipped lunch breaks, he worked on weekends. After 6 months, Tom felt completely exhausted. He couldn't focus. He felt irritable and sad. Tom had burned out. The lesson: work-life balance is essential. Taking breaks isn't lazy, it's necessary. If you feel like you're burning out, talk to your manager, set boundaries, and prioritize rest. Now let's talk about call off. Calling something off is very common, but the reasons vary. You might call off a meeting because someone is sick. There's an emergency. The information isn't ready yet. Plans have changed. You might call off an event because weather conditions are dangerous. Not enough people registered. Budget issues. You might even call off a project because it's no longer profitable. Priorities have shifted. Imagine you're organizing a team workshop. You've booked a venue, invited speakers, and sent invitations, but suddenly your main speaker cancels. You don't have time to find a replacement, so you call off the workshop. It's disappointing, but sometimes calling something off is the most responsible decision. In professional emails, you might write, "Unfortunately, we need to call off tomorrow's meeting. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the event has been called off." It's polite, clear, and direct. Finally, let's dive into follow-up, arguably the most important phrasal verb for professional success. Following up shows that you're organized, reliable, and proactive. It's a skill that separates good employees from great ones. Here are different ways to use follow-up. 1. Following up with a person. I'll follow up with the client after the presentation. Can you follow up with HR about my leave request? 2. Following up on a task or issue. Let's follow up on that bug report tomorrow. I'm following up on the proposal I sent last week. 3. Following up in emails. This is huge. In professional communication, following up via email is essential. Example email. Hi Sarah, I'm following up on my previous email about the quarterly budget. Do you have any updates? Thanks. Why is following up important? People are busy, they forget. Your email might have been buried. Following up shows you care about the outcome. But here's a tip, don't follow up too aggressively. Wait at least 2-3 business days before following up on an email, and always be polite. Following up isn't annoying, it's professional. It keeps projects moving forward. While we covered a lot today, let's do a quick recap. You learned 11 essential phrasal verbs for work. Burn out, call off, carry out, fill in, look over, take over, set up, follow up, run out of, point out, give up. We did a deep dive into burnout, call off, and follow up, 3 of the most important ones for professional communication. And you tested yourself with a 10-question quiz. Here's my challenge for you. This week, try to use at least 3 of these phrasal verbs in your work conversations or emails. Using them in real situations is the best way to remember them. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend who's learning English. And don't forget to subscribe to Simple Learning for more practical English lessons. Also, if you have any questions or want me to cover specific topics, leave a comment or send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening today. Remember, learning English is a journey, not a race. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and don't give up. I'll see you in the next episode of Simple Learning. Until then, keep learning and keep growing. Bye for now.